Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Melle, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real2reel360. KYs.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real2reel360 show. Let's get it in. We do the knowledge of wisdom so you can understand. Real2reel360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it always taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to born. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy your show. Peace.
Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation of gods and earth, to all the human families of the planet Earth. We give you a love, peace, and happiness high salute. What's going on? This the one and only KY's Allah, aka Kato, the black superhero. Welcome to the Real2reel360 show. Oh my God. Listen, it is time. It is time. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I ain't even holding it back no longer. We have high-powered science in the building tonight. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm telling you high-powered science, I'm talking real, the real from when it began. We have living legends in the booth right now. But listen, we're going to get it started. I got to bring on my co-host with the most, none other than my brother in God, my baby brother, y'all. Let's go. You know the time it is.
Stay tuned for a message
Here
from
we got to get it, and we getting it.
Am I
right.
the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Sure enough.
But who am I?
Joshua Melle.
Who am I?
Joshua Melle.
I can't hear you.
Joshua Melle, Mr. PhD.
Peace, peace, God, peace.
Peace.
Yes.
Man, listen, it's gonna go down, man. But before we talk about that, man, we got a guest host tonight that's coming in, right? So y'all be locked and loaded for that. That's how epic this show is right here tonight.
We can't even describe this person as a guest. This family, man.
This is family. So Kelly,
you know what I mean?
Bump that. I want my coffee. No sugar, no cream.
Say what?
I want my coffee.
Listen,
I want my black coffee, no sugar, no cream. You feel me?
Listen. You know, I had to do that, John, what I did for you, right? But it's only a right and honor that I bless our sister so she can come on the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving you no other than
that's the kind of girl I need down with my team. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. That's the kind of girl I need down with my team. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. That's the kind of girl I need down with my team. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
yes.
Hey! Oh boy.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, it's crazy.
Yes,
It's crazy. All three of us is in the building, but right now, we got a living legend, an icon,
Oh, yes.
a hip hop icon
Yes.
from the beginning,
Yes.
from the Bronx,
Listen.
from the Funky Flow.
The book.
We went
What?
the Funky Flow.
Yes, sir.
Then went to the Furious Five.
Yes.
Am I
We got,
dreaming?
man, we got Rahiem, the ladies' dream. From the
You got to give him the ball, baby.
You got
Ready.
him in the building. Bring him on, God, man.
Bring on the guard. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Peace, peace.
Peace to the guard.
Wow. Ah! Oh my goodness.
Hey, listen. I salute to the guard, man. Absolutely.
Man, definitely.
Wise.
Yo, God, I tell you, it's an honor and a privilege, you know what I'm saying, to have you on our show. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I met you back in like early 90s, you know what I'm saying? And I fanned out then, you know what I'm saying? And we were taking care of business. But to have you on the show and the things that you have accomplished in the game of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We have to all salute you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You know what I
Thank you.
mean? Now, for those who have been living under a rock, can you just give them a brief overview of who's the lady's dream really is? They talk a
Yes.
lot of stuff, but they don't know who the lady's dream is.
The real. The real.
The real
No,
lady's
The
dream.
real.
you know, the irony of that is, you know, that rhyme, that little slogan, Rahiem and all the ladies' dreams, has been with me since 1978. That's when I started MC, and that's one of the lines that made me pop, like in the Bronx. In addition to line, I'm hemp the dimp, the women's pimp, the women fight for my delight. That was my rhyme that Big Bang Hank, that piece of the rhyme Big Bang Hank used in Rapper's Delight. He used most of Grandmaster Caz's rhyme, but he used a piece of mine as well. And so the irony of that little slogan, Rahiem in all the dreams, is it has come back to bite me on the buttocks in every single relationship that I've ever been in. The woman always throws that at me at some point in time. Oh, so you in all the ladies' dreams, huh? I'm like,
Yo, can you hear me clearly? Can everybody hear me clearly?
You good, G.
yes.
You good.
Can y'all
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, we hear you great, God. Yo,
Okay,
God. When you was growing up and you said you started rhyming in '78, what was the name of the first group you started with?
Well, okay, so I all right, so I don't count my toy time. Other people count their toy time. And what I
Right.
mean by my toy time, and the term toy time, it derived during the 70s, before rap records came out. And before you were a known MC or a known DJ, you had to be a toy first. You was a toy. You know, you had your toy time. So my toy time was only a couple of months because I was down with a crew called Master Plan 2 and the Phase 1 crew, and I was their only MC, but we didn't have two turntables and a mixer, so our DJs couldn't cut back and forth. So my ability to rhyme long form was very limited at that point in time. And then one of my homies that attended Truman High School with me, another legendary hip hop practitioner by the name of Grand Mixer DST, who changed his name to Grand Mixer DXT, who did the scratching on the legendary song with Herbie Hancock, Rocket. He would invite me to all of his jams because he wanted me to be one of his MCs. But a dude who was actually one of his MCs, named Theron, who later changed his name to Shaheem because I changed my name to Rahiem and I influenced him. He didn't want me to be down with DXT. He wanted me to be down with another crew because he saw me as like competition. But we were cool. We were, that's my homie though. So he redirected that energy and was like, yo, I want to introduce you to a dude named DJ Barron from this crew called the Brothers Disco, and they need an MC. Like DJ Barron is looking for an MC, and so I think that you could cut it. You could audition. They hold the auditions. So I went to this battle at Boston Secor Community Center up in North Bronx, Boston Secor Projects, and and the when I walked in the spot, it reeked of marijuana and angel dust, and the joint was jam packed. The joint was packed like this, and,
Right.
And it was a battle, and it was a battle against a crew called the Little Brothers from Co-op City, DJ Aaron and DJ Leo. They didn't have an MC, and the other members of the Funky Four, Sha Rock, KK Rockwell, and Keef, they were off to the side of the stage left, in a little room, and they were on the mic performing, but they were not standing center stage. So the audience couldn't see them; they could only hear them on the mic. So DJ Barron wasn't on the turntables at the time. DJ Breakout was on the turntables. So I wasn't supposed to rhyme when DJ Breakout was on the turntables. So I had to wait till DJ Barron got on. And when he got on, he introduced himself to me and was like, yo, what record you want to rhyme off of? So I was like, give me Let's Have Some Fun by the Barcades. Psst. Psst. Then, all right, do what you want to. Do it, everyone. So he puts that joint on, and he puts the mic stand not in the room, off to the left stage left with the rest of the Funky Four. He puts the mic stand center stage in the Lion's Den, because the joint is jam packed, and so now I single-handedly have to go out on stage and entertain the crowd. And so it was like second nature to me, and I walked out on stage and I did my thing, and like for maybe about the first 2-3 minutes, you know, everybody was a little bit distracted, but then after people started hearing what I was spitting, then I started getting ooh, ah, and then after a while I had it. And after that jam was over, all of the personnel from the Brothers Disco organization was like, "Yo, we would like to introduce all of the rest of y'all to the newest member of the Funky Four MCs. His name is MC Rahiem." And that was it.
Yo, that's crazy because like people know you more so for the Furious Five and not the Funky Four, you know, and that's part of your history as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, how did that come about? Where you got with, you know what I'm saying, the five?
Okay, so Grandmaster Flash and Furious Four, bless you guys. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Four were they were like the after Cool Herc.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmaster Flash was the king of all DJs and
Right.
and then DJ Grand Wizard did. So after that, Grandmaster Flash, you know, he had the 3 MCs, Melle, Kid Creole, and Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would see flyers of their jams all the time on my block. I lived on 179th Street, Boston Road, Lambert Houses. And so I would see their flyers and I'd be like, you know, I never heard them, never saw them rock or nothing like that. And I was in junior high school during that time when I would see flyers with just the 3 MCs. And like my hangout card was very limited. You know, I went to my first hip hop jam in 1976. I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that was a Cool Herc jam. And so, you know, I would see these flyers, and then when I got with the Funky Four, Grandmaster Flash added another person to their MC crew, and they called themselves the Furious Four.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the #1 crew, like in the Bronx.
Right.
And then, but they were in the South Bronx. And Breakout, Barron, the Funky Four, and Brothers Disco, we ruled the North Bronx. So, and we grew in popularity very quickly after I joined the group. Like, you know, I joined the group like maybe, you know, January, February of 1978. And so that whole year, we was bodying crews left and right, battling, going all over, like doing block parties out in like Far Rockaway. We battled the crew called San Francisco Disco. out there, and we smoked them so bad I took the DJ's girl. Like I girl for like after that, you know what I mean? And then we rocked at a spot called Al Smith Community Center in the Lower East Side by the Brooklyn Bridge. And then so after our popularity gained to the point where we were the #1 rated crew in the North Bronx, and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 4 were the #1 rated crew in the South Bronx.
So yeah,
Grandmaster Flash's manager, Ray Chandler, who ironically is the uncle of Dame Dash, he approached our manager, Jazzy D, who is Breakout's older brother, and asked Jazzy D to set up if we would be interested in battling. And so we was definitely interested in battling. My whole crew they had the battery in my back hard. Yo, you better than Melle. Yo, I'm telling you. Blah. And so I believed it. And so we were going against Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 4.
Was that the first rap battle? I heard that in historical that was the first rap battle.
I don't know necessarily. Well, okay, so I'll say this. I will say that as far as rap groups go, the Funky Four and the Furious 4 were the very first two rap groups. So yes, that was the first rap battle.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
There were no rap groups prior to those two groups, right? And that I know of in New York. If there were, they was real quiet. They wasn't making no. And so they set the battle up for May 11th, 1979, at the Webster Avenue PAL on 183rd Street in Webster Avenue.
In Bronx, New York.
In the Bronx. And Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 4, they won the battle. What happened was the Funky 4 and myself, we rehearsed for this battle for maybe about a month and a half prior to the battle. And we had choreographed dance steps. We had a change of clothes planned for their ass. We had we had our mic stands and our Shure microphones, the SM50s, in these white cases, and we carried our white microphone cases on stage with us and all of that. But they surprised us. What they did was, instead of because they were supposed to be minor, because they were a little more popular than we were, and so we expected them to go on after us, but instead they opted to go on before us. And when they went on before us, so now a lot of people don't know this. To my knowledge, I really don't like to claim first at doing anything, but so I won't say I'm the first. I'll just say I'm amongst the first to be an MC that mixed singing and rap. All right, that's what I'm known for.
That's what I know you for.
Right. And so I would remix Jackson 5 songs because I was a Michael Jackson fan, and I would put the Funky 4 and the Brothers Disco's names in the Jackson 5 songs like ABC and I Want You Back and Sugar Daddy and all of that, and I would sing in my best Michael Jackson tone, and the audiences really loved this, so that became what MCs after that called routines, or harmonizing, right? And so and the Cold Crush Brothers adopted that after the fact, and they became known for harmonizing, but it derived with us, the Funky 4, and so we went on stage before them. Oh, excuse me, after them. But when they went on, they did everything that we had planned to do first. They changed clothes. They had choreographed dance routines, and they sung like chanting style, um, harmonizing routines. And so, me being the creative foundation of the Funky Four when I was a part of the group, I was the one responsible for making up everything that the group uh, did together. Like all of our routines, I made them up. So to me, like, because they did everything that we were going to do first, because they went on before us, it kind of made me feel like we needed to change our plan. So when it was our turn to go on stage, instead of me saying to the rest of the Funky Four, yo, change your plans, because they did basically what we were planning to do first. I didn't say anything to them, and so I was the first one to get on the mic. And for lack of a better description, I'll say that I went Al Iverson his rookie year in the NBA. Right? I went nut, and I spit for like maybe 35, 40 minutes straight. And Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Four initially were standing in the audience, ice grilling me, you know what I mean? But then I went so hard and for so long, and the audience was like, yo, he is doing it. Like, and they was cheering me on. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Four, they started cheering me on as well. And so after the battle, maybe about 2-3 days after the battle, Melle, and at the time his name was Mr. Ness, he later changed it to Scorpio. They showed up at my mom's crib, and they asked me if I would be down to join their group. So I joined their group. Let's see, we battled May 11th, 1979. I would say by June, July of 1979, I was a member of the Furious.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know that had to be hard. You and the other crew.
The whole North Bronx was pissed off at
Yeah,
me.
they
Like, bro, you jump ship. Yo, you a traitor, bro. And I was like, yo, this was a career move on my, like, I don't know where my career is going, but I felt like I had to do this for my career. I don't know why. It was just something innately in me that said, yo, bro, you need to get down with this crew, because you know what it was, really? I didn't feel as though, and no disrespect to my legendary brothers and my sister Sha Rock from the Funky Four, KK Rockwell, Keef, Sha Rock, no disrespect. I didn't feel as though the rest of the group matched my energy when it came to our creative input. And so everybody spit their own individual rhymes, but I felt like very pressured by having to be the one to make up all of our routines. Like, I had to make up all of our routines plus write my own rhymes. So that was a little extra pressure for me that I really didn't want on my back, because it was fun to me. And so that took the fun out of it and made it like work for me. And if you know anything about me on a personal level, when I hear the word job, I break out in a rash and pee on myself.
Yo, now, Rahiem, like, how did y'all get your first record deal and get to the level that y'all became?
Okay, so when I was a member of the Funky Four and the Brothers Disco, we were really popular, right? But then when I got down with the Furious Five, we were super popular. I mean, before rap records. And so what happened was, as a result of our overwhelming popularity. Prior to even rap recordings, we were doing like 2 and 3 clubs a night in the tri-state area. You know, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. We was doing 2 and 3 shows a night before we made any recordings. And then the rap scene just became so trending at that point that record label executives started hanging out on the scene. And so we got approached by this dude named Terry Lewis, not to be confused with the great Terry Lewis from the production team, Jimmy Jam.
Okay.
No, not that one.
Okay.
We refer to him as the bootleg Terry Lewis. Bootleg Terry Lewis approached us at a party that we was doing and asked us if we would be interested in recording a record. And the Sugar Hill Gang had just come out with Rapper's Delight. So we was like, damn, they got a one up on us because they came out with a rap record first, and we don't even know who they are. Like, we don't even know these dudes as MCs. That's how we felt about the Sugar Hill Gang at that time. So we was like, we got to get a record out. So when the bootleg Terry Lewis came to us and, you know, gave us an opportunity to record a record, we saw that as an opportunity to rival the Sugar Hill Gang. So when we we got a bunch of our musician friends together around our neighborhood, and we booked a studio, and we took the band into the studio, and they replayed. They made an interpolation of Stephanie Mills' song "Put Your Body in It." That's what it's called when you replay somebody else's music but you don't sample it. It's called an interpolation. So an interpolation of Stephanie Mills' song "Put Your Body in It," and we spit our lyrics over that. And we gave the master recording to the bootleg Terry Lewis. So we never saw or heard from him after that, right? But maybe about a month or two goes by, and I'm walking up Fordham Road, a little shopping area in the Bronx, and there was a record shop slightly like a few feet from the corner of Webster Avenue and Fordham Road, and they would always have their speakers outside the record shop blasting whatever new music was out. And so I'm about to walk past the record shop, and all of a sudden they started playing our song, our new song. And I'm like, oh shit, yo. So I go in the record shop very excited, and there's a long line. And so by the time I get at the end of the line, and by the time I get up to the counter, our record has stopped playing, and they put on another song. So I asked the guy behind the counter, I'm like, yo, can I get that record by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five? And he was like, who? And I was like, that record that just went off by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I started saying the lyrics to him, and he was like, oh. So he grabs the record and he shows it to me, and he was like, yo, that ain't no Grandmaster Flash and no Furious Five. I don't even know who that is. This group is called the Younger Generation. I'm like, what? I said, that's my group, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. He like, yeah, all right. So I bought the record, and I just so happened to be on my way to rehearsal with the rest of the group. So I went to Flash's apartment with the record, and I showed it to the rest of the group. And when everybody saw that the name of our group wasn't the name of the artist being displayed on the record,
wow,
I decided to take a walk over to the bootleg Terry Lewis's apartment because he lived in Walk. In the same projects that my legendary brother, DJ AJ, rest in peace, came from, called Morehouses. So we walk over to Morehouse's, and we go in the bootleg Terry Lewis's building, and we take the elevator to his floor. Get off the elevator, we go to his door, and as soon as we get to his door, we notice that the lock cylinder is missing. And so straight into the apartment. And then one of the members of the group inadvertently leaned up against the door, and the door swung open, and the bootleg Terry Lewis and whatever his belonging, they was all gone, never to be seen again to this very day. And we never got it for the song called "We Rap More Mellow." I don't know who the executives of Brass Records are. I don't know where Brass Records is located, but if I ever find out, me and the homies, we going to pay them a visit.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yo, that's crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Never got a dime for that song.
That's deep. That's deep.
And to this very day, I believe you can still get a copy of it somewhere.
Yo.
That's worse than Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, for real.
Right, exactly.
Now, Rob, with y'all breakout records, everybody know the message, everybody know White Horse and stuff like that. So how was it being the stars, the kings of New York, the kings of hip hop at that time, coming through with those records that were predecessors to Run DMC's records?
You know, it was a glorious time. But you know, just know that when you at the top, everybody's gunning for you. Everybody. Right. Everybody's at your head. Everybody's coming for you. Everybody coming for the throne. And so the time that you have to sit on the throne, it's going to be, you know, it's going to depend on a few things. It's going to depend on, you know, your ability to continue to, you know, reinvent yourself, your ability to continue to, you know, keep yourself hot, keep yourself relevant, and then, you know, the fact that like people like Quincy Jones and like I never knew how influential our music was until we did a show, not a show, I'm sorry. We attended an awards ceremony at a club called the Savoy in Manhattan. Right. And it was called, the awards ceremony was called the Urban Contemporary Awards. And we never heard of the damn Urban Contemporary Awards, so we didn't want to go. Like we were vehemently against attending this awards ceremony. But our president, our label president, Sylvia Robinson, rest in peace, said, you know, you guys have to go. You know, this is going to be a really influential awards ceremony. We know it's not the American Music Awards. It's not, you know, the Grammys, but you got to go. So we like, all right, whatever. So we go. And while we're there, or to our surprise, it was a completely star-studded event. And so I personally had no real feel for the magnitude of my group's influence at that time until I'm minding my business. I'm walking through the audience at the Urban Contemporary Awards trying to find my seat. And Quincy Jones and Luther Vandross come running up to me.
Oh wow!
Like fanning, like oh my god, you're one of the guys from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, get out of here, yo, well, like you're Luther Vandross and you damn Quincy Jones. Oh my god, like, and they're like, yo, can we take a picture with you? I'm like, yo, stop. Can I take a picture with you? And so they took a picture with me, and like from that moment on, it was evident, like how our music was influencing the world.
Right.
Before the message, which was mainly y'all number one song of all. Prior to that, super rapping. Right. Early 78.
Yep.
What would you say?
No, actually 79.
Yeah, actually 79. So I said. But you had a line in there. Explaining your height.
Oh, okay.
I think you got that. You got that in the mix, ain't you, Kay?
You know.
Oh wow.
Hey, bring that up, man. Bring that up.
Get it.
Let's get it right here.
I had to make sure I had this was my man right here, y'all.
Come on, Rahiem, come and get some. Yes, y'all. You don't stop. Come on, and let me see you rock. I'm only 5'9", you think I care? I can pull a girl from anywhere, cause I'm bumping around just to talk of the town. When they talk about me, they don't dare frown. I'm too hot to talk to go to walk through. To all the fly girls, I'm aiming to talk. To all the fly girls, you got to beware, cause Rahiem will be in your hair. Just coming to the road, listen to me, because everybody knows Rahiem is what it be. Melle, bang, rock the house, pow. Come on, help me turn it out. I'm Mr. Ness, bang, rock the house, pow. Come on and help me turn it out. Rahiem, bang, rock the house, pow. Come on, help me turn it out. Cowboy, bang, rock the house, pow. Come on and help me turn it out. Get Creole, bang, rock the house, pow. Come on, help me turn it out. DJ Flash, bang, rock the house, pow. Come on, help me turn it out.
Listen.
Wow, let's turn it out.
I could imagine what it was like for y'all to be in a room together, man, and just y'all had your own internal battles, from what I've heard. Now I ain't saying too many, but I want you to illustrate. I've heard there was some many internal battles, especially with the pen.
Yeah. After I became a member of the Furious Five, it was no longer my plight to battle with Melle. I had no desire to battle Melle. At that time, to me, Melle was I'm gonna borrow a term from my good friend named Mama Ship. Pardon my language, unfuckwittable. That was Melle at that time, and Melle and I, we are no longer cool, and he's not one of my favorite people. But I'm not the kind of person who would deny and overlook someone for their abilities. So despite how I feel about him personally, at one time in rap's history, Melle was the undisputed greatest of all time.
Wow.
Hands down.
Wow.
And then with being in the midst of greatness, it can't help but rub off on you unless you just a bum.
Right.
You know, unless that's just not your lane. If that's not your lane, then no matter how much greatness is around you, if that's not your lane, it's just not going to rub off on you. Right? So, Kobe said,
Wise. What's up, y'all? This is your man, Ness. Taking the ride with the journey, and I'm kicking it with.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. When you said the bump thing, it might have just hit it right quick. You know what I mean? Pardon that. Hey, but Rod, I got a question. How did it feel to usher hip hop into Rock and Roll's Hall of Fame?
Oh yes, inducted
Into the first group of hip hop to be inducted into Rock and Roll's Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about the Lifetime Achievement Award with the Grammys in a minute, but that moment right there with you being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how was, man?
And VH1 too.
Yeah, VH1.
VH1. I remember that
Yeah.
one.
See, yes,
There it is.
there it is.
Wow. Wow.
How
Wow.
how magnetic is that for you to have that award
Wow.
and that acknowledgement?
Um, for me, I think that what what sealed it, what 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 brought me untold amounts of excitement was the induction ceremony was great. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely felt the electricity in the air. You know, during the induction ceremony and all of that. Um, um, but what sealed it for me was the day that I visited the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame museum.
Yeah.
And I went there with my legendary brothers from Full Force,
Mm-hmm.
Bole Lou and Paul Anthony, and my legendary brother Kango from UTFO, rest in peace.
Yeah, may peace be upon them.
Was the one who facilitated this. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame contacted them and asked them if he knew how to get in contact with Rahiem and Scorpio from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, because we were the only two members whose signatures were not on the illuminated wall with all of the rest of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. And so Kango told me that they were on their way to Cleveland and asked me if I wanted to roll out with them so that we could all go to the museum together and I could sign my name on the illuminated wall while I was there. So I was like, bet, I'm down. So I went with them. And while I was there, I got an opportunity to, well, first, the process is you sign your signature on a piece of paper, and then they transfer your signature from the paper onto the illuminated wall. The illuminated wall is a wall with everybody, all of the inductees' signatures, and it's lit up. And so after they transferred my signature from the paper to the wall, what sealed it for me was when they allowed us to go up on the floor where the illuminated wall was, and I saw where my signature was placed. It just gave me goosebumps. It's giving
I
me
bet it
it's
did.
giving me goosebumps
I
now.
bet it did.
My signature
I bet
was
it did.
inches away from the Godfather of Soul, James Brown, and he
Oh
was
my
very first idol. Like when we had house parties at our house when I was a little boy, and my mom got tired of playing the DJ, she would put James Brown's music on, and I did all his dances, and I would sing all his songs and entertain everybody in our home. So James Brown was my first idol. And so signing my name on the illuminated wall just inches away from James Brown, like that was everything for me.
Did you get emotional?
I did, yes.
I bet.
Yeah. Well, the emotional part came, this was really crazy too. So we're standing backstage at the Waldorf Astoria. We're standing backstage at the Waldorf Astoria during the induction ceremony, waiting for Jay-Z to call us out on stage to present us with the induction trophies. And we're standing in the kitchen of the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, and we're standing there talking to Paul Schaefer, the former music director of the Dave Letterman show. And so we're standing there kicking it with Paul Schaefer, laughing and talking. And then one of the cooks from the kitchen in the Waldorf Astoria comes up to us and looks us all in the face really closely and says to me, "Oh my God, yo, your mother's name was Gloria Williams." I said, "Oh my God, yes, how do you know that?" He was like, "Yo, your mom was my 5th grade teacher. She changed she changed my life. God bless her, rest in peace." And that right there choked me up beyond belief. And so by the time we got out on the stage, my mom was always my biggest supporter. Right. So when I got out on the stage and it was my turn to say something, give my acceptance speech, I had to make it very short because I was going to burst out into tears if I did.
Man,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I bet.
Yo.
I bet.
Because
Now,
my mom,
I mean, especially to see your name on the wall right next to your idol. Did you think you were dreaming?
right.
Yeah.
And, my mom was like my biggest supporter. Like,
Yeah.
I got expelled from school. I got expelled from high school. Like, literally, the principal and vice principal escorted me to the doors and was like, "Mr. Williams, can you please do us a favor and just never return here?" Oh,
Well, Rahiem, you are definitely a prominent force in the hip hop industry. I mean, you are a prominent force in the hip hop industry.
thank you.
But I got one question for you.
What's that?
What do you think? What do you think about the industry now?
Well, without being, overly harshly critical of artists of today, because I understand that today's artists, um, you know, much like the generation of artists that preceded them,
Right.
we are no longer in control of our entertainment culture.
Okay.
So because of this lack of control, it's bound to take a turn in whatever direction the people who are in control of it are taking it. And honestly, it's been weaponized.
Okay.
Been weaponized. It's very destructive, and that's no negative reflection on the artists that are making this kind of music, because they're being forced in that if they don't make this kind of music, then they're being shelved, they're being released from their labels and that sort of thing. So they're being coerced into making this kind of music because honestly, the music, um, audio signals and visual images are two things that enter our subconscious mind without our permission.
Right.
A perfect example of that is how many times have you heard a song on the radio that you absolutely hated, but because the radio plays stuff in rotation and you hear it perpetually, you couldn't help but know the words. So you know the words to a song that you absolutely hate, right? And that's because audio signals and visual images they enter our subconscious mind without our permission. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you hear something, you can't unhear it, right? So, and the government is very well aware of that. And so that's why they use our culture against us. That's why they use it as a weapon, because they know how influential it is. They know that, they have placed strict regulations on tobacco manufacturers, prohibiting them from advertising the sale of tobacco on any advertising.
Yeah.
They advertise on television, radio, internet, nothing, right? Because they know full well that a percentage of the population already smokes cigarettes. But if they were to advertise it, a much larger percentage of the population would smoke cigarettes. So as a result of the past Surgeon General's, the heat that they caught for omitting the fact that cigarette smoking causes lung cancer, now all of a sudden the Surgeon General had to admit that cigarette smoking causes lung cancer, and now all of a sudden the Cancer Society had to crack down on cigarette or tobacco manufacturers advertising the sale of tobacco products. Well, the same thing holds true for music, film, because
that's deep.
Music is
deep.
The music that we hear on radio every day. It's the people whose job it is to play this music, to choose the music that we listen to on our local radio every day. They're called program directors. So their job is to program the music that programs the listener. So if every day of your young, impressionable life, all you hear on your local radio from your favorite artist, who are probably in your earbuds more hours a day than your parents and your teacher are, and they're telling you that the direct route to their success and the very blueprint to their success is to stand on the corner and sell mollies, Percocet, Coke, dope, kill niggas and F hoes.
Yeah.
Most influenced percentage of the population become that.
Make this go viral. If y'all are watching this, be sure to share this. The communities need to hear this. They need to hear this. Share this, please.
Yeah, we're not aware of this because, you know, an author by the name of William Cooper, rest in peace, wrote a book called Behold the Pale Horse, and it's about all of the so-called conspiracy theories that are going on, that our government are committing. And they're conspiracy theories according to the people who are committing the conspiracy, because they want to make the people who are on to their BS look crazy. So that's why they're called conspiracy theorists. But you know, we as human beings have the power of reasoning, logic, and deduction, and it is our very nature to look at something and analyze it so that we can resolve and find the answers, right? Yeah. And so when we don't analyze things and we don't look for the answers, that's how they get us. That's how they slip us the banana in the tailpipe. You feel me? Like we have to be more diligent because we are at war, but it's silent weapons for quiet wars. So they have not said that they've waged war against us, but they've waged war against us.
Absolutely.
By what we see and hear every single day, somebody that looks like you and I is falling every day.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Now, Rahiem, like, we noticed that you have transitioned from the mic to producing and helping bring out and groom younger artists in the game. What made you want to go to the production part of the hip hop?
Well, actually, I didn't transition into production. I kind of, I guess I would say, I kind of got into production around the same time as I started. Well, not started MCing. We started making records. When we started, that's when I started doing production. And I'm a musician. My first tenor saxophone. I was in my school band, and I was the best sax player in IS 167. But I didn't like my band teacher, and so to spite him, instead of playing the solo on my tenor saxophone for our graduation, I played a cowbell.
Cowbell.
So after the saxophone, and after I got out of junior high school, and I graduated and went to Truman High School in Co-op City in the Bronx, one day I'm walking through the hallways and I see a key on the floor in the hallway, and I pick it up. And throughout the course of maybe 2 or 3 months, I tried the key on every single classroom door in the school until I found which classroom door it unlocked. And ironically, it unlocked the piano room. So whenever I didn't feel like participating in gym class because they were having volleyball or some sport that I didn't want to participate in, I would cut gym class and I would go to the piano room, close the door, pull the shades down, turn the lights out, and lock myself in the piano room. So I taught myself how to play the piano in the dark.
Wow.
And then I met a brother by the name of Rahiem LeBlanc from a legendary R&B group called GQ. who used to give block parties around my block, and I was a shorty, and I would be in front of the ropes, like practically in Raheem's mouth, and I learned the words to all of their songs, and so I would sing along with him. And so he was like, "Yo, you could sing." He was like, "You want me to give some guitar lessons and some voice lessons?" I'm like, "Bet." So I hung out with Rahiem LeBlanc, and he showed me a little bit of guitar, and he gave me some voice lessons. And so I just recently, I never bothered to buy a guitar, although it's my favorite instrument. One of my homies that knows how much I love the guitar just recently gave me a guitar, so I've been honing my chops as a guitarist, because I want to play Ernie Isley's solo and Boy Planet.
Yeah. Well,
Yo,
God,
shout out to Stevie B from GQ because we had him on the show, and
salute.
he spoke about that a little bit too.
Here's my universal question, God. We're gonna go back.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Prior to, we're gonna go back to year one for us, back in '64. Then we're gonna move forward. So as we go back into that time, and those years coming up when you transition, going into getting knowledge of self,
Right.
how much of the influence did the knowledge of self impact you? And then how much of the influence were you within the group with knowledge of self?
Well, okay, so by the time I gained knowledge of self at 11,
Mhm.
one of my older cousins just came to me. I was outside playing, minding my business. He came to me on the block and was like, "Yo, little cuz," he said, "Here," gave me this book, these lessons. He's like, "I need you to study this, and the guards, they're gonna be coming around, and they're gonna be asking you the questions. That are the answers. The answers are found in that book. You need to know. You better know the answers when they come around." I'm like,
Sound familiar?
and he's like, "Oh, and no more bacon, no more pork chops." I Yes, and I told my mom, I'm like, "Mom, I can't eat pork no more." She was like, "What? What? You were born and raised off pork." I'm like, "No, Ma, for real. Like, I can't eat pork no more." And luckily for me, one of my older brothers who was incarcerated had just come home from the penitentiary, and he was Sunni Muslim. And so as a result of his transitioning into Islam, my mom stopped cooking pork.
Okay.
And so I was good. So I studied my lessons. My first name was Amar, and I hated that name. So I never told anyone my name because I didn't want them calling me that shit, right? Hated that name. So, in fact, it was the very name, Amar, that made me not want to be down with the nation, because I wanted to change my name. But somebody gave me that name, so I couldn't change it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, damn, I don't want nobody calling me that. So I ain't God. I ain't God. Right? So then, when I stopped hanging with the guards for a while. And then when I got in high school, it was a bunch of guards all around, like in the valley. And so they would always come around to school. So I mean, my lessons, they was memorized forever. So whenever somebody asked me, today's mathematics, I was hitting them with it. So they couldn't come at me on that level. But I didn't hang out with them, so they didn't know why. They didn't like that. And then they didn't know why I wasn't calling myself by a God body name. I was calling myself Todd. That's my middle. My full government name is Guy Todd Williams. So I was calling myself Todd. And then I started my first my first hand at trying to be a practitioner of hip hop was graffiti. I tried to be a graffiti artist, and so I started tagging the name Crazy T because my name is Todd, and so and you know, mad other writers was wild disrespecting me, writing over my shit. You know what I mean? Putting tic-tac-toe over my shit, all that. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this graffiti thing ain't for you, boy. You know what I mean? Maybe do something different. So I'm like, all right. So I switched lanes and I started b-boying. So I was pretty, you know, like I could do James Brown's dances, like all of them joints, you know, split, you know, spin around, catch the mic, and all of that. So,
do one for me. Do one for me.
do one for you.
Do one for me. Please. Do one James Brown move for me.
You know what? I didn't stretch today. But you know what? I'll give it the old college try.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but give me a few. I'm gonna finish explaining this, and after the explanation a little bit, after that I'll do the James Brown for y'all. But so after damn, I lost it. What was the question?
I was
He would
saying,
want to know how the influence of having knowledge of self was with you.
Yeah. So after I didn't want to be called Amar or Amar, and I got in Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, or no, actually it was right before that. Right before I got in the Funky Four, because I was in the Funky Four for 1 year, 1978, and then 1979 I got with Flash. So prior to being with the Funky Four, I changed my name to Rahiem, and I changed my name to Rahiem because as a result of being influenced by Rahiem LeBlanc, the lead singer of GQ. He was my first musical mentor besides my mom. My mom was my first musical mentor, and then Rahiem LeBlanc. And so I was very grateful to him for that. And so I said that I would, if I ever had a son, that I would name my son Rahiem, and I did. But prior to me having a son, people saw Rahiem LeBlanc and us and me together all the time. And they was like, yo, that's Big Ra and that's Little Ra. So I was being called Little Rahiem. And so when I grew up, they just dropped the little and I was just Rahiem after that.
Yes, please. Now, God, I know that you got a biography that you've been working on.
Yeah, autobiography, yes.
Yes, sir. Want to speak to that a little bit and when it will be able to be available, or is it available right now?
No, it's not available yet. I'm still working on it. I go in and out of working on it. I've never written a book before. I've read, countless books, and so as a new author, I'm really highly critical of my work, and so if I read my work and it doesn't seem compelling to me enough to me to want to pick up this book and not put it down until I'm finished with it, then I know that I have work to do, and so that's where I am right now. I'm still working.
Now, how is it when you encounter younger artists in the music business? When they see you, do they honestly understand the magnitude of iconic, legendary status that you are?
Honestly, the majority of today's artists don't have a clue who I am. They heard of my group's name, and a lot of them probably know who Grandmaster Flash is, and they probably know who Melle is, but they probably don't know who I am because I haven't been performing as a member of the group since maybe about 2011. Not not to not due to any decision of my own. I've been excluded from performing with the group for whatever their reasons are, and I'm not even going to get into it. But so at this point in time, it's the Do Me show, and so I'm not looking back or anything. I'm looking forward, and any of the artists that don't know who I am, I guess it's up to me today to let them know who I am.
All right, Rob, we coming to the end of the show, but I want our followers and listeners to be able to uh, know where you'll be at or how they can reach you or work with you or any of these things that you have going on.
Okay, so you can contact me for business at Rahiem, Rahiem music. So that's two M's, RAHIEMMUSIC at gmail.com, right? Or you can follow me on Instagram, Rahiem, RAHIEM .official. And if you follow me on Instagram or if you email me with anything, if you trying to do business, I still spit. You want to do a collab, you want production, you want to do an interview. Much love, much respect to my absolutely gorgeous manager, Bam. I had to
Bam.
shout you. You are everything. There is no me without you, baby. Thank you so much for holding me down. Word.
Yo, and salute to Bam for making this connection, this reconnection rather.
Yep. And I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, I made a misquote. If you want to connect with me for business, you need to contact Bam, not me, because I'm too damn nice. I say yes to everything, and Bam say no to everything first, and that's what I need. So if you want to contact me for business, get at my management, bestartistmanagement@yahoo.com. Okay?
Yes. Shout out to Best Artist Management. Salute, Bam. Thank you for this opportunity to bring our brother on. Hey, Rahiem, give us like 2 minutes after the show so we can discuss this interview and make sure that you get it. Hey, sis, what's good, man? It's great to have you on here. And for y'all who don't know, Black Coffee, we hosting the show, a couple of shows with me on May 10th and May 12th. So y'all make sure y'all check in, and also too, she's an artist. Make sure y'all go out and see her perform, download her new music.
Yes.
Black Coffee, tell them how they can get you.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me. I'm still feel like I'm dreaming. I really do, because this is historical. Just like you said, Rahiem, you got emotional, and when you signed it, when you saw your name signed next to James Brown, I feel that same way right now. To be sitting here amidst an interview with a pioneer, you should be in the Black history books. You hear me? It's deep. It's deeper than that. And I appreciate all you've done in the road that you've paved for me. How about that? But you can find Black Coffee, No Shade, No Cream, Facebook. I'm a Facebooker. I have an Instagram. I have a TikTok, but I'm a Facebooker. So that's Black, BLACK, Coffee with a K, OFFEE. Good to the last drop.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yo, big bro, you know what time it is, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. First of all, always, like I said, to the God, right? Listen, you ain't got a home away from home, Lord. You got a home right here on the Real2reel360 show.
Yes.
So anytime, anything that you got going on that you need us to push, promote, bang it out loud, whatever, G, you just holler at the gods and we got you covered.
Got a strong team, Rahiem. Strong team.
I feel the love. I feel the love.
I'm trying my best not to drop a tear.
Yo,
New music music and new stuff is coming. It's coming soon.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely. Yo, salute to Rahiem, the ladies' dream. We love you, bro.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just hold tight for 2 minutes, big bro. Handle the biz on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have been amazed and witnessed true and living, the living legend himself.
Yes.
My God, my brother Rahiem right here of the legendary Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, man. Much love, peace, and blessings to everybody, to all the nations, the gods and earths, to all the families on this planet. We salute you, peace and blessings.
Stay tuned for a message from the God.
When the East is in the house.
Is where we rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Long Island is where we rest.
Shout out to the 6th borough, yo. This is Real to Real 360. We out, yo.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to come to the end of the show. Right now, I want to take the time out and thank our guests for coming on. Also, too, we want to make sure that y'all listening and subscribing, and tell a friend and keep sharing, because we're going to keep bringing y'all the real content. You know what I mean? So, DJ K-Wise, my brother, take us up out of here, son.
True indeed, true indeed. I want to give a big shout out to the nation of gods and earths. To all the human families on the planet Earth, I say peace. But to our subscribers, those who continue to watch and listen to the show each and every time we come on, I give a big shout out of love, peace, and happiness to you. The beast of man, woman, and child of the you and I verse. It's time for us to disperse. We bring the best, not the worst. We thank you once again for tuning in to the Real 360. Bring a friend to hit that like and subscribe, so we continue to grow to bring more knowledge and wisdom to you. Upon our show, you make it possible for us